coming to Canada, and the perspective of starting over was scary.
Having Canadian education, it's something that even when you apply for any job in Canada, it's the first thing that an employer looks for in your resume. It's either your Canadian education or your Canadian work experience.
I did many different kind of jobs, many labor jobs that I can't imagine in China. I will do those things.
Many kinds.
My name is Riham Al-Azam. We came to Canada in 2016. My parents and I were part of the 25,000 Syrian refugees who resettled in Canada. Leaving Syria was not easy for sure. It was a difficult situation. I remember when I left the country and I wanted to leave. I really wanted badly to leave. But at the same time, I felt as I was being extracted from my roots. And I remember when I was in the plane, I changed my mind. I wanted to go back, and I felt I don't want to go back to the war, and I cannot go to this far country, which is on the different side of the globe. I remember the most sad things. I was thinking about my grandfather and grandmother. I felt maybe I won't see them again. And that's exactly what happened when I came here to Canada. They passed away. It was so difficult when you feel you don't have home.
When you don't speak English, it's not that easy to go ask. It's not that easy to go even where to purchase a bus tickets. A lot of people come with a lot of experience back home, whether it's running business, whether it's education background, they come with all this lifetime experience that they have. And they come here just not knowing where to go, just not knowing how to incorporate their business. Those are a challenge when you don't know how all this thing works, and going into school, how to register for school and where to go and how to do all this process. Those are really challenging.
I'm a lawyer turned journalist. I used to practice law in my home country, Syria, but when I came to Canada, I decided to change my career and I started follow my passion, and that's why I studied journalism. I've seen the revolution, I've seen the people protesting peacefully on the streets. I was one of them. I've seen all these stories. I wanted to study journalism in Syria, but I remember my mother always tell me, how are you gonna practice journalism in Syria? When I came here to Canada, I felt I would love to practice journalism where I can feel that this is independent journalism.
Ralph is tired of his life without his father, who's in Syria and has been waiting for 4 years for Canada to process his sponsorship file and reunite him with his 2 kids and wife in Montreal.
So I wanted to get also the foreign countries a clear image about the war in Syria, the situation, the two-side story.
Our student demographics are incredibly varied. We have over 16,000 students and the average age is 27, and that's a little bit different than your average post-secondary institutions. We have 108 different countries represented in our student body. We have 73 first languages spoken on campus, and so it's just a really incredible place to be where people bring diverse experiences and perspectives, and that translates into the classroom in that students are working with all different types of people, learning that intercultural communication, preparing for the workforce, and then going out and hopefully meeting their goals. Manna is one of our settlement studies students, and she's just incredible. She went through language instruction for newcomers to Canada, our LINK program at Norquest, and then she chose to continue on and get her further education.
My Chinese name is Juhua, but I gave myself an English name because I think it's easier for people to pronounce. For me, the big challenge is the language. You know, I always tell people I am 17 years old. Why? Because I came to Canada 17 years. I think Canada gave me second life. I really hate to learn the language at that time. Many friends persuade me to learn the language, but I refused just because I think I'm a writer. If my English improved, I may lose in Chinese, but that is not true. So I stay home for long time. So I feel very disappointed at that time. How come I can't speak the language? So even I took the bus, when people speak English, I look at their mouths. I imagine maybe the words will jump from my mind. I can understand what they say, but no. That was my lowest moment. When I start to learn the language, I told myself, don't give up. If you want back to school, don't give up. I encourage myself to integrate the society, to learn the language from the society, not learn only from the class, because the language must be connected with the culture.
Coming to a new country where you don't have a network, when you don't have many connections, is also a challenge because you need to start all over, like making friends, meeting new people. And a lot of the research says that actually to find a job, there's a hidden job market, that you learn about the jobs through your networks. Around, I think, 80% of the jobs actually, people get them through their network. It's not advertised, it's not online, it's not in the newspapers. So imagine that you have that disadvantage, you have no network. Culture of volunteering, why volunteering is important, right? And to help you to get reference and improve your Canadian experience. All those things are kind of retraining, right? Beside, of course, the formal retraining process, like the licensure processes, right? So all those kind of things are considered retraining and learning how to actually capitalize on your expertise and skills to start a career in Canada.
I was a lawyer in Turkey before I moved to Canada back in 2018. My credentials weren't recognized directly, so I was rushing into getting a job. I was like, whatever job, I'll take it. Because when you're cooped up at home, You don't know what you're doing. You're just rushing into getting a job because you want to start somewhere. You want to do something for your life because you are a newcomer, and your mind keeps telling you that you're not good enough, that you're wasting your time. But that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a lawyer, and on the inside, I always knew it. Back then, remembering that stress and anxiety, what I did was I found alternative ways to overcome these hurdles. So one of them was volunteering. It's still work experience, even though it's not paid. It doesn't mean it's no experience. It is still some sort of an experience. But you get to meet with new people, and as you listen to their stories, it makes it easier to just cope with your stress, your issues and everything, because there's a lot of people out there who are going through the same things as you do. You're a lawyer in your home country and you move to Canada, you don't have to pursue that career, right? But if that is the dream that you want to chase, I highly suggest them to go after it, because it's not as scary as it seems. And it's gonna get less scary after they move here, because they're gonna see how diverse it is and how friendly the environment is. And I think they're gonna find a lot of support. The work environment is very diverse, and you're going to see a lot of different people from, a lot of different backgrounds, nationalities, cultures. And I think if you can see the value in having this diversity, I think it's a blessing. Yeah.
I am now in a safe place. I have all what I need, even if I have obstacles here. It's nothing comparing to the obstacles in the war in Syria. Without the support of Canadians, I wouldn't be here today. I know I study hard, I worked hard, but to be here in Canada, to feel I'm welcomed, to feel I belong to these countries. Home is not the place when you grow up or when you live. Home for me is to live in a peaceful place when you feel you're safe, be surrounded by people who love you, and that's enough.
I'm really proud of myself. Now the Canadian part helps me to understand more than before. I want to pay back to the society. I thought maybe it is my time to help others, because now my language improved. I can use my knowledge to help others. I am the winner. I own second life. The first life in China, second life in Canada.